Welcome to day 15 of Let's Get Exam Ready. Today we continue to look at critical thinking and look at how we can demonstrate this when we have an evaluate question. Evaluate is one of the 4 possible command terms for essays in paper 1 and paper 2. It requires us to give an appraisal of strengths and limitations. We don't have to give equal numbers of strengths and limitations, but we do need to give examples of both, which will allow us to come to an overall conclusion. Over the next few videos, we're going to build up this mind map to help us understand the different command terms and how we can demonstrate critical thinking. We're focusing on evaluate today. For the command term evaluate, you're likely to be asked an ERQ question which asks you to evaluate methods, research, or theories and models. And we're going to look at each of these now. A question could ask you to evaluate research in a particular area. For example, research that investigates the brain and behaviour. This question is basically asking you to evaluate studies that you know about the brain and behaviour. Any studies that investigated the relationship between brain and behaviour, and remember behaviour can include cognitive processes, can be included here. But we need to focus on evaluating the studies, not just describing them. So when evaluating research, we can think about the method that was used, the design that was used if it was an experiment, the sample and the technique that was used to gather the sample, ethical considerations and whether these were met or whether they were not met, implications of the findings, and any real-life application of findings as well. All of these are possible points to consider when you're asked to evaluate research. You could be asked to evaluate a method. For this example question, we could consider any of the following points to evaluate the research method. Did the method have ecological validity? Did it allow a cause and effect relationship to be established? Did the method used to have mundane reality? Did it have high or low internal validity? Were there possible extraneous variables and how could these have affected the results? Is there any possibility of participant or researcher bias? Is the method considered reductionist? And would the method be considered taking a deterministic approach? Any of these points could be considered if you were asked to evaluate one or more methods. You could also be asked to evaluate a particular theory or a model, for example, schema theory. And when thinking about evaluating theories or models, here are some points you can consider that you can elaborate on to show critical thinking. Can the theory be tested, and is there research that supports the theory? If there is research, you can evaluate that research, but you need to make sure you're linking it to how that supports or challenges the theory. Is the theory too simplistic? Can the theory be used to help us understand behaviour? And can the theory be used to help us predict future behaviour? What implications does the theory have? And can the theory be applied to any real-life situations? And remember, to demonstrate well-developed critical thinking, we need to be following a 3-step approach. This was explained in our day 14 video. In tomorrow's video, we'll show you a different approach to take when you're writing essays in paper 1 and paper 2 that has the command term discuss.